Audio Jungle.
5 men killed in attack at football match in Kingston, stated police. 5 men were shot and killed in an attack at a football match in Pleasant Heights, Rockford in Kingston on Monday evening, the police reported. Superintendent Tommy Lee Chambers, head of the Kingston Eastern Police, said the shooting happened sometime after 8 p.m. at a friendly football match. The number of injured persons remain unclear. Earlier, Assistant Commissioner Donovan Graham, head of the Police Area 4, the region under which Kingston falls, said several persons have been rushed to hospital. Pleasant Heights, formerly known as Wicked Heights, has a violent past, particularly driven by deadly gang feuds. Superintendent Chambers said it was too early to determine whether this incident is linked to any gang warfare. But she noted progress was being made to reduce crime and violence in the area. We have been having peace in Rockford community for the past 2 years, she stated. Hotel workers at Royalton Negril continue protest action. Hundreds of hotel workers at Royalton Negril are currently staging a protest action at the staff entrance to the hotel in Hanover. The protest, which started early Monday morning, saw placard-bearing workers and at least one hotel guest peacefully lining in off-road from the main road that leads to the property and others. The workers are protesting that they describe as poor treatment, inadequate pay, being overworked, among other things. One worker, Amal James, said some hoteliers are operating as they please, and as such, there is their need for the hospitality industry to be unionized to voice the concerns and get things done. James is also calling for the intervention of Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett. I am asking you, please sir, please to come and address what is going on in the hospitality industry. We need better representation for the staff in the hotel industry. Too much ill treatment. Please, 2 days off. We need to come in a system of 2 days off and 8 hours working shift. Too much overtime staff in the hotel industry. Please, if we do overtime, no pay. They just treat us as they feel like, argued James. The workers were reportedly addressed by the hotel's resident manager. However, the workers remain dissatisfied and continue their actions. The 572-room property, which was opened to the public in 2017, currently has more than 1,000 employees. St. Andrew makeup artist shot dead. The St. Andrew South police are investigating the murder of a 28-year-old makeup artist at her gate on Jordan Road, Kingston 13 on Sunday night. She has been identified as Shakila Mitchell. Reports indicated that approximately 7:35 p.m., Mitchell was seated at her gate when unknown assailants attacked her. She was taken to hospital where she was pronounced dead. No motive has been established for the incident. Detectives from the Hunts Bay Criminal Investigations Branch are probing the matter. Vendor charged for stabbing boys who laughed at him in Trelawney. A 31-year-old vendor has been charged with alleged stabbing several boys who reportedly taunted him in Trelawney earlier this month. Troy Adamson from Ghetto District in St. Anne's Bay, St. Anne, is charged with intent, stemming from the October 9 incident on the Martbury Main Road, according to a police statement on Monday. Reports from the Falmouth Police indicate that around 3:05 p.m., Adamson, who was selling cotton candy, got into an argument with a group of boys who were laughing at him. He allegedly threatened to kill them before taking a knife and stabbing 2 of the boys in the head. The boys tried to flee, but Adamson reportedly caught up with them, inflicting further stab wounds to them in their faces before escaping on foot. The victims were treated at the hospital and later released. The police did not say how many boys were in the group and how many were injured. Adams was arrested after being positively identified and charged on October 15. He was one of the best. When the love of her life, 44-year-old Constable Linford Cudnell, washed 2 loads of clothes for her on the morning of Friday, October 4, Natasha Freckleton, his common-law wife of 3.5 years, could not help but be thankful that she was blessed with such a caring partner. She didn't know that it was going to be the last of the many acts of goodness that she had become accustomed to, as a few hours later, he was laying in a coma in the hospital, allegedly struck by a disobedient motorist while carrying out his policing duties. He died in hospital on Sunday without regaining consciousness. He was one of the best, no one to compare to him, Freckleton told reporters while struggling to grip with Cudnor's death. We had a lot of plans, thinking we had a lot of time, but it would not be. Cudnor, who was stationed at the Granville Police Station, also in St. James, was mowed down by a motorist whose vehicle a police team was tasked to intercept. He suffered several head and body injuries and was initially taken to the Conroe Regional Hospital, but was transferred to the intensive care at the Falmouth Hospital in Trelawney. Constable Cudnor was a dedicated policeman who worked tirelessly in the Granville police area. He had served in many other divisions, but at the time of his passing, he was assigned to the St. James Division, said Superintendent Aaron Samuels, the police commander for St. James. We are really saddened of his passing, and the whole St. James family mourns his death. It is unfortunate that he was struck down doing what he swore to do, which was to serve and protect Jamaica, trying to rid the streets of illegal weapons. According to reports, about 3 p.m. on the day of the incident, a police team, which included Cudnor, signaled the driver of a white Toyota Probox that they believe was trafficking illegal firearms. However, the driver reportedly refused to stop. Instead, he increased his speed. Cudnor was reportedly struck by the fast-moving vehicle, which sent him flying over a precipice. He was rushed to hospital, where he was placed in intensive care in an unconscious state. As was customary on the day of the incident, Freckleton, who would call Cudnor from time to time to check on him, called his cell phone shortly after 3 p.m. Another officer answered the phone and told her that Cudnor was not there. She figured that he may have left his phone at the police station in charge, so she thought nothing of it. However, sometimes afterwards I heard a police siren coming towards the scheme where I live. I didn't think if it has anything to do with me until they pulled up near my gate and I saw some officers walking towards my house, stated Freckleton. I became concerned and began asking, what happened to Cudnor? Was he shot? One of the police officers told me that he was not shot, but that I needed to come with them to the hospital. Freckleton said when she got to the hospital, she saw the badly battered and bruised Cudnor in an unconscious state, with the doctors working furiously to save his life. She broke down, crying herself in a state of not knowing where she was. Like Freckleton, Cudnor's mother, Jocelyn Cudnor, is deeply distressed by the death of her son, who she described as a loving, kind, compassionate, and more than a good man to her. He was an excellent son to me. He could not be better, said Cudnor's mother, who was desperately hoping that despite the severity of his injuries, he would survive. He was also an exceptional father of his 2 daughters. One is on the verge of completing high school, and the other is 7 years old. When I got the call from the hospital that we should come now, I told my other son that your brother dead, but he said, no, Mama, don't think that, I don't believe that, recalling the grieving mother. When I went to the hospital, he was on his back with his mouth open. I tried to close it, but I couldn't. I don't know what he wanted to say, but he is gone. Tough luck. Victims of the alleged fraud that took place at Stocks and Securities Limited, SSL, are likely to see next to no recovery of their money, according to a recent FAD trustee report, which estimated $4 billion in losses for under 300 clients' accounts. The investment house is currently bankrupt and being wound up under the supervision of court-confirmed trustee Clayton Campbell of Praise Trustee Limited. The pro forma balance sheet of the company showed that it had assets of $770.5 million, with $670.12 million being due for related parties. However, there was a deficit of $364.93 million after accounting for the various liabilities that SSL had accumulated up to May 31. In the 3 scenarios presented, to realize the value of the remaining assets on the books, the category for creditors is affected trust claimants or SSL clients who were allegedly defrauded, and SSL promissory note holder would receive no distributions after payments are made over to the winding up and pay the tax authorities. It may, however, be moot whether these claims are included, and as it stands now, there will be no refunds available to make any distributions of these Category 4 creditors unless the proposed SSL Victims Compensation Fund is funded by recovery from the unaffected claimants and or otherwise resulting for court action, stated Campbell, and reissued report filed in the Supreme Court of Jamaica. The proposed SSL Victim Compensation Fund would be funded from a 7.5% of the management fee applied on SSL off-balance sheet portfolio or remaining unaffected clients' assets. That fee would bring to an estimate of $345 million, which would see $153.50 million being allocated to the compensated fund. According to the trustee, the compensation fund would be directed towards victims affected or trusted claimants with a contingency claim who were victims of the alleged fraud committed by Jean Ann Panton. Remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.